All right, we're chatting with Jen Magnuson, who is a phenomenal part of the RAAM media team. You take some of the best pictures I have ever seen. Seriously, that is not an exaggeration. Really do a great job with the racers out there. And how was the trip across the country this year?
We had a lot of fun. We got, I think, a lot of good stories. And I've come back. This is my 5th time going across with RAAM, and I keep seeing the same people, so I have some emotional investment in some of them. Like, I had tears when Alan Jefferson pulled out the win, and when Kurt Matzler finished, and these are people I've seen over and over again with teams and finally attempting solo, and it's an awesome experience every time.
And you built some pretty good friendship with your co-workers, I take it.
Oh, yeah. The media teams are always great, and I keep in touch with them throughout the year. And, you know, we get together in Oceanside and on our way across the country, and we tell old stories and laugh about things and make new stories.
And you made some new stories this year when you saw that one of your coworkers was in some big trouble. You really stepped in to help out. Isn't that right?
Well, yes. We did what we're calling Milkshake RAAM. There's a deli that's just a couple blocks away called Chick and Ruth's Deli.
Amazing breakfasts there for one thing, but from what I saw yesterday, even more amazing milkshakes.
They have a 6-pound milkshake that comes in a glass that's about this big and that big around. And this thing, they'll do a challenge where if you can drink it in an hour by yourself with no help, then you get a T-shirt and a photo on their social media. So Kurt...
I think you would also get a whole lot more than that.
Well, I can't attest to it because I only did half. But we call it Milkshake RAAM. And Kurt Schellenberger of Media One, who was on my Media 2 team in the first year that we did RAAM in 2017, he attempted Milkshake RAAM solo yesterday, and the only training he had was eating a barbecue sandwich from the Mission Barbecue over here about an hour beforehand, which maybe wasn't his best plan. So he got to what we call Kansas of the Milkshake RAAM. At one point, he asked us if he was to Durango yet. We told him to hold up the glass, which is so big it had to be on the chair next to him. And he lifted it up, and we said, no, you're still in Arizona. We were doing RAAM-style media interviews with him throughout the attempt. And, yeah, he passed it off in Kansas. He said he couldn't do it, so we decided to make it a 2-man effort.
So we made it almost a Pratt.
Yeah, I would say so, about that.
And then you took on really the toughest part of the milkshake, because you had to start on the flats into the headwind, go through the Missouri hills, hopefully no backwash there or anything, and then into Indiana, Ohio, and then you really hit the tough part. What was that like when you had 2 pounds done and you had a pound to go?
Oh, no, he had about 3 pounds done, and I had 3 pounds to go.
2 pounds of your own done, and it still had a pound.
Oh, yes. Well, I got started. I felt good. I had already eaten a half-pound crab cake, a bowl of spinach, and a baked potato, in the same meal, and because I didn't think I was going to get to have any milkshake. And then we asked for an extra straw. They brought in the extra straw. We did have some trouble with straws clogging with chunks of ice cream.
So that would really delay your time, because unnecessary stops are not something you want to have to do.
Yeah, our crew / videographer, Tara, was very helpful in helping with straw maintenance.
So did you bring in spoons? You had to adapt and come up with new plans, right?
There weren't spoons long enough to get to the point in the glass at that point, but I just, I kept going, and I think as long as I stayed on the straw, I was able to get through. And I feel like I had the easy part because the glass was tapering at that point. It gets narrow at the bottom, so you can really see that finish line, really feel it. It's emotionally encouraging as you get down to that.
It's kind of like hitting Mount Airy.
Yeah, I would say so. You're like, okay, the Appalachians are behind me, and I'm ready to coast on in.
All right. Wow, this has just been a stunning interview about drinking a milkshake. Thank you so much, Jen. And like I say to the racers who come across the finish line looking fresh, you do not look like you drank a 3-pound milkshake yesterday.
You know, I'm kind of glad I don't. And you know, I feel good. I felt good last night when I went to bed. I slept till 11:30 this morning because I've had about probably 4 to the high point was 5.5 hours of sleep a night over the time that I was on the road. So I think the milkshake just kind of helped solidify that sleep.
That's fantastic. I've had two 15-minute naps, I think, over the last 36 hours, and which really drive me to do something like this, where, you know, I can interview you about a milkshake and think it's the funniest thing I've ever done, and people who are watching are like, what are you doing?
You know, that's fine. I think it's the funniest thing, too. I'm going to need probably a couple more days of 12 hours of sleep to catch up from this whole experience, but yeah, I think I can maybe take on solo milkshake RAM next year with Kurt.
Oh, that would be exciting. If we can get one lactose-free, I'm going to be right there with you.
We'll have to make sure that we didn't go over our lactose limit for lifetime in our attempt yesterday.
Thank you very much for tuning in.